we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. And how no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. And how no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark grows. And how no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark grows. And how no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark grows. And how no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark grows. And how no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark grows. And how no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark grows. And how no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark grows. And how no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark grows. And how no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark. What we seed in the dark grows. Seed in the dark grows. And how no one knows.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your neighborhood Unitarian Universalist congregation. Merry Yule, happy Winter Solstice. My name is Suzanne Mazars, and I have the life of the community, all the things we are up to. Starting with our anniversary, our 25th anniversary as a congregation is coming up, and we and we are celebrating on February 2nd after service. So join us for food, song, sharing of memories, and a good time. In our gallery, we have 2 shows ongoing till January 19th, Printed Pluralism on the west and Drew Nelson on the east. Info about our small group ministries are available in the Cappuccino room. The sheets are below the screen. There is still room in Active Hope, Stitch and Enrich, and a meditation group. A message from the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Suzanne.
You're welcome.
Very briefly, I just wanted to share with everyone, we've had a great year, and we're going to have an even better year next year. So to set up for that, I would just like to request that we could make a small little bit of increase in the end of year donations. So we're about 10% behind on where we expected to be at this point in the year. So if you could add 10% to your offerings, the Finance Committee, all of us would be very, very grateful. Thank you.
In January, we won't have a talent night. In January, we will have our neighborhood karaoke night. All are welcome to come, bring a friend. That's happening on Saturday, January 11th, starting at 7:30 p.m., hosted by MC Jojo and Allison. Christmas Eve is upon us. Here at NUC, we'll be having 2 services on the 24th, which is Tuesday, one at 5 p.m., which is a lively, more family-focused service with singing and stories, followed by refreshments for all at 6 p.m., and at 7 p.m., a more contemplative service with Rev J and the combined First Toronto and Neighborhood Choir. As an accessibility option, Neighborhood has acquired 5 backjack floor chairs. They will be making their debut in the front row next Sunday. Anyone who wants to can use them. Thanks for picking them up, Peter. Today, 4:30 to 9:30 with a potluck at 5:30 is Toronto's Sacred Circle Dance's Winter Solstice Evening of Dance. Come for all or just drop in for part of it. We hope to hold you in the heart of this dark time. Is that happening here in Rafos?
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Moira. You can talk to Moira for more info. It'll be happening in this space. Also happening in this space on Saturday is the Cosmic Walk Ritual and Dance, a Saturday night movement service. The ritual begins at 7, and doors close at 7:05 to hold the sacred container. So consider coming at 6:30 just to make sure you come in. After the ritual is snacks and a DJ'd ecstatic dance beginning at 8:30 with everything wrapping up at 10. All are welcome. Invite a friend for this ritual and dance for the end of the year. Next Sunday, we continue our exploration of love at the center, generosity, with a community wisdom service. The speakers will be us sharing wisdom from what we have learned over the past 5 weeks of exploring generosity. Music will be provided by our own spirit band. Our service weaver will be Allison Kabayama, and Time for All Ages provided by Denise Lambert.
Welcome to our Yule service here at Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist Congregation, whether you are with us in person or joining us via Zoom. It's good to have you all here. I start by acknowledging that the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nations are the treaty holders of this land, and that the Wendat and Anishinaabeg Nation and the Haudenosaunee Confederacy lived here before me now and are living here together with Métis and other indigenous peoples and Inuit. I face east, the direction of the rising sun, to welcome the rising and returning sun, as the Blackfeet do traditionally on this day. As I continued to learn from indigenous traditions, I went to the Indian Collective website, which advises that on a winter solstice, if you have access to a ceremonial space, go to that space. Show up with something to give while you receive. So it's wonderful to have you all here, both to give and to receive as we do our service. My name is Peter Marmorek, and I have both the pleasure and the honor of being your service weaver this morning. We start our service by creating sacred space. You can help by silencing anything that might make unexpected or undesired noise during the service. I thank the staff and volunteers who have created this service. Your names, their names, are up in the cappuccino room on the wall. Almost everyone's name, we tried to get them all in. There will be children activities with Julia over the course of the service, but there won't be a time for all ages today. Unitarian Universalists hold many beliefs, and as a non-creedal religion without a set of beliefs you have to accept, we learn from many traditions. We welcome anyone who is looking for a spiritual tradition. Our services vary from week to week, so if you're here for a first time, come back and see how different the traditions are that we honor and hold up. After service, you may want to be in the cappuccino room to chat and get to know us better, or you may need a more quiet place. The minister's office will be open, and this room will also be available for those who need more silence to hear more clearly. Our mission at Neighborhood is to empower spiritual growth and shared action for the care of our world. Our theme till the year's end is generosity, which certainly aligns with this time of year. We are grateful for all the generosity we have been given. We are grateful, none more essential perhaps than the sun's gift to this planet. Our slide for the month shows the sun descending and everything beneath it to honor that generosity. And now we start the service with the chalice lighting, which Estes Rogers will do. Our chalice is, in our new tradition, lit by taking the light from the children's flame and then passing it to our own chalice. In this way, may we be inspired to keep the children's fire alive in our hearts. As the old year becomes the new year and the new year becomes the old, we keep this circle alive.
I'd like to introduce the song. Our prelude today is Calme de Nuit. The composer is Camille Saint-Saëns, the French composer. This was written in 1881. The words are from an anonymous poet, and the poem claims that the daytime brightness and noise is for the frivolous, whereas the quiet calm of night is for the deep thinkers. And the poet writes, "Only the poet is possessed by the love of quiet things." Saint-Saëns clearly captures this feeling in this composition. We can imagine him standing under a night sky full of stars, receiving the inspiration for this piece. Please enjoy.
Calme
Thank you. And now to complete our circle, I call in the powers of the directions. I face the east, where our spirits are. I call in the power of spirit to be here, the element of fire, the color yellow as I light the yellow candle, and the world of all humans. Be here with us, powers of the east. I call in the powers of the west, the place of the physical, our bodies, the world of the earth. As I light the black candle, I call in the powers of the west. Be here with us today. I call in the powers. This candle is facing the wrong, I'm facing the wrong direction. The candle is right. I call in the powers of the south, the place of emotion, the world of plants and of water. Be here with us, powers of the south, as we let our emotions out and open up to them. Let us be emotionally fluid as we call in the powers of the south. And I end by calling in the powers of the north, the world of mind, of air, the element air. Be here with us, powers of the north. Help us to be mindful. Help us to have our minds blown by the ceremonies that we will do today. Thank you, powers, for coming in and completing the circle.
We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending.
And now we invoke the powers of the masculine, of the feminine, and of the non-binary. And as the feminine is firstborn, we start with the feminine.
Thank you. O radiant goddess of the longest night, keeper of the sacred stillness, we call upon you in this hour of transformation, you who cradle the earth in your icy embrace, you who birth the light from the womb of darkness. Come, hear our voices, and bless this turning of the wheel. Goddess of renewal and rebirth, guardian of the smallest flame, guide us as we journey through the dark. Kindle hope within our hearts, and let the spark of new beginnings grow strong. As the sun returns and the days lengthen, we give thanks for your gifts of reflection and rest. May we walk our path with courage and grace, carrying the light forward into the world. Blessed be, O great lady, ancient mother of the turning year.
I call on the power of the masculine, of Sequan, great-grandfather, the galaxy of stars, containing our longing for sacred wholeness and the face of the everything. Teach us. I call on Sohotama, grandfather, son, containing the longing to create beauty and the face of the sacred artist. We welcome your return. Teach us. I call on Quattle, earth father, containing our longing to know of our interdependence, how all beings are our relations, and the face of the seer. Teach us. As we have both the yin and the yang, so we have the Tao that encompasses them both and all the intermediate states.
As we have white and black, so we have the myriad of colors that are in between.
As we have day and night, so we have dusk and dawn.
As we have masculine and feminine, so we have a spectrum between. We light this gold candle in honor of all genders and identities
that do not fit
within
a
the
simple binary.
May this blessed congregation gathered here at the winter solstice help each other to let go of something old and dark and make room for that which is new and full of light. To help us in that task, we will use a ritual that has been practiced here at Neighborhood for many, many years. At Yule, our chalice becomes our burning bowl, where we surrender something old to the flames of the newborn sun to prepare ourselves for the gifts of the new year to come. A basket of flash paper, a few of them, will be passed around the congregation now. And I invite you to take a piece of paper and use it to record something that you don't need anymore. Consider the thoughts or the feelings that might still trouble you. And as this service progresses, take a moment to write it down. It could be with your finger, it could be with a pen, it could be one word, it could be a sentence. Maybe it's something that you don't need to carry with you anymore. Now is the time to let that go. Write it on your slip of paper to be released into the newborn flame of the burning bowl on this Yule morning. Blessed Yule. It is the darkest time of the year, and it's a darkness which is still and deep. It's upon us, and it's around us, and in many ways, it's within us. And we find ourselves in this moment every year, such that the moment stretches between us and our ancestors, and from us to our descendants. For Yule is the winter solstice, and by the very tilt of Mother Gaia in her spiral dance, we live right now our shortest days with Father Son, and our longest nights in the cold of dark. How does the dark find you? Do you fight it like I do? I wrapped my wreath this year with battery-powered twinkly lights. And I hung it on my door, and I told myself that I would turn it off at bedtime to save the batteries. But that didn't last long. You know, I felt better leaving the lights on all night. From the dusk at 4:30 until the dawn at 7:30, and then it was 8:30, and then it was 9, and then now I notice that the wreath is twinkly all day and all night. It makes me feel better, because I know that there's always a light. How does the dark find you? Do you hide from it? Do you wish it away? Is there something in the dark lurking there? Or maybe it's the dark that's hiding something from you. I like to think of old stories at this time of year. And lately I've been thinking about one from a few thousand years ago. It's a story that the ancient Greeks told us. And it's a story about the first woman on earth, Pandora, who was given a gift from Zeus, the king of gods, and it was a fine earthen jar. Although many translations call it a box. On the gift was inscribed a simple edict: never look inside. Now, Zeus was an angry god. He was angry because against his wishes, we had fire. And knowing that no mortal could resist the temptation to look, Zeus had stowed inside his gift the darkest things to forever plague humanity: despair, war, greed, rage. All of that darkness, it escaped into the world when Pandora peeked inside. And she tried to slam the lid, but it all got out, except for hope. Left inside was hope. And as such, so the story goes, humans could survive any time of trouble and strife. They had hope. So I hang my wreath on my door every year, and though I'm no longer Christian, I still like to put it up on the very first Sunday of Advent. And there are 4 Sundays in Advent before Christmas, 4 Advent Sundays. The first one is for hope. And that's also when Christians will light the first of the candles in their Advent wreath. Now, I don't know if you know this, you probably do. Many of the Christmas traditions were stolen from Yule, like the birth of the Son of God, which mirrors the rebirth of the sun god, or the tree, or the giving of gifts, or the wreath. But, you know, there's a lot that gets lost in the translation. Like, take the wreath, for example. It wasn't meant to hang up and hold lights. It was meant to be lit aflame and rolled down the tallest hills into a village. And it would evoke, it would beckon the dawn at Yule. There's a lot that gets lost in translations. Like hope being trapped inside when Pandora slammed the lid. If hope is good, then why is it in a gift full of dark and evil things? Is hope actually something dark? If we think about it, hope indulges our fantasies about how things might be better one day. And by doing that, hope takes us out of this moment, takes us out of the here and the now, which is really all that we ever have. So maybe, or maybe, it's just something lost in the translation. In the old myth, the ancient Greeks used the word elpis, and it might mean expectation instead of hope. Expectation. Expectation of what? Well, I like to think that given its company in that gift, the expectation is one of darkness and evil. Although humanity is troubled by evil in this world, we are spared the expectation of it. Still sealed in Pandora's box is the fear of a darkness that never ends. Now, that doesn't mean that we're saved. We still trip and we fall and we stumble in the dark. Life is not hopeless, but human beings are hopelessly human. Yule tells us that there is always a light. In the absolute darkest of hours, hold on, and lo, the sun is rising, light is returning. That is faith. I lost faith once. I left neighborhood. I declared that I wasn't even a Unitarian Universalist anymore. And for me, there was no chalice. There was no flame. I felt so deeply hurt. I thought I must have misunderstood all of our principles. Maybe I didn't even understand our faith at all. But it was my wife who brought me back. Katya kept insisting that people here loved me. She reminded me there's always a light. There's always a light. You know, it wasn't easy to find. It took some time. It took some work. It was hard to understand why it still hurt. But she was right, and I found a light. And it's not here. It's not in this flame. This is just an externalized manifestation of something that's a lot deeper. The flame of faith is in you and me and you and you and you and you and you and you and you. The spark of sun, the glimmer of hope, twinkle and sparkle, our creative intelligence, alone it could dwindle. But together, reflected, refracted, it roars into a bonfire. Look upon this flame, breathe it and feel it, and know that it's not without, it's within. It's not without, it's within. It's in you, it's in us, together. Blessed be.
Thank you, Kendrew. Please join our choir in singing one of my favorite hymns written by Unitarian Shelley Jackson Denham, Dark of Winter. Sopranos, altos, tenors, basses.
We enter into the dark of the year now, of our lives at certain times, and in those moments, there is no light, but we still hold on to the powers of the directions to guide us. Spirit has its fire burning. I put a rock here from our rock communion to celebrate the West, the physical. I pour out a libation of water to the south, water from our water communions through all the years here at Neighborhood. And in the north, for mind, I am honored to be able to put this eagle feather here. And now I ask Wendy and Joan to come up and extinguish the chalice. And as the chalice is extinguished, let us all take a deep breath in, hold the deep breath, and exhale as the chalice is extinguished.
To
Breathe deeply. Hold it for a second and slowly release. Let your thoughts slow, become calm and relaxed. Be aware that you are in a place of safety, a circle cast in love and generosity. Allow your eyes to close. Sink into yourself and listen to my voice. Feel your feet planted firmly on the floor. Feel your bottom solid in your chair, supported by the floor, connected to the earth. Allow your mind to focus on that connection and begin to feel roots extending from your body. Feel your roots like fingers digging into soil, connecting and burrowing into the earth that gives us life. Allow any stressors from your week to gently sink into the earth. Sit with the quietness inside you. This is the time of year when our days are the shortest. Darkness is expanding and growing, and we know that if the darkness continues to grow, soon there will be nothing. It is easy to sink into sadness at this time of year. It is easy to isolate, to get lost in the darkness. Cold, dark, lonely. Sit with this for a moment. Feel the darkness. In times like these, we want to search for a light. We seek out warmth and comfort. We often look outside ourselves for a spark. Pause that search for now. Look inward instead. Feel your pulse, the blood rushing through your veins, and know the love of the water. Feel your body, your bones giving you substance. And know the strength of the earth. Feel your breath passing easily in and out. And know the inspiration of the air. Feel the warmth of your body radiating. And know the passion of the fire. See that fire, that spark, glowing gently inside you. Encourage it with love. Feed it with your strength. Breathe inspiration into it. Watch the spark grow into a flame. Feed the flame with your spirit and let it become a glowing ball of pure light. Feel it pulse and grow until you are fully enveloped in the light. Welcome it into your heart, and as you do, Feel your light radiating from you. Allow your light to join and mingle with your neighbors. And together, let us fill the sanctuary with our light. Let us become the source of light that we felt we were missing. Let this circle be filled with the brilliance of each of us. Our lights mingling and dancing together. Let our light become the source of the spark that relights our chalice. Bring your awareness back to this room, and let us revel in the fire we have found within ourselves. Let us welcome the rebirth of the sun on this glorious solstice morning.
Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn. Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn. Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn. Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn. Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn. Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn. Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn. Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn. Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn.
And as the children return to relight our chalice, empty your lungs of air and take a deep breath as the fire is relit. Breathe out. Breathe in.
I trust that everyone has written a word or a short sentence for that which you no longer need. So I'm going to ask you to take your little slip of paper and to fold it and to place it into one of the baskets that are about to be passed around to each of the different quadrants. Now, we will all be drawing a slip from a basket, and it won't be your slip. It will be one that was written by a neighbor. Now, they're not for us to read, but they are for us to burn. And we are here to support our neighbor. Together, in this moment, we help each other to let go.
I got
Soon you will come to the burning bowl from the direction that calls to you, the north, east, the south, the west. And when you're offered the basket, draw a slip of paper, and you'll approach the burning bowl, and you'll grasp the rim with one hand and touch the paper to the flame with the other, and gently lift your hand upwards to release the burning paper to the heavens and watch it flare and disappear. Make sure that you're holding onto the bowl. Touch the paper to the flame. Toss it up. Now, we let something go, something old go, so that we can make room for something new. So after you have burned a slip of paper, I'll ask you to take one of these boxes from the front of the chalice in the north. One of these boxes is for you. What's inside? I hope for you that it is something new. So, let's begin.
wheel turns, the sun returns. Burning, turning, the fire burns. The wheel turns, the sun returns. Burning, turning, the fire burns. The wheel turns, the sun returns. Burning, turning, the fire burns. The wheel turns, the sun returns. Burning, turning, the fire burns. The wheel turns, the sun returns. Burning, turning, the fire burns. The wheel turns, the sun returns.
We have given and we have received in the burning bowl ritual. It is a joy to share this Yule morning with you as we share in the return of the sun. Giving and receiving. As we hope this service has given to you, so we hope you will now be able to give back to help us grow like the seeds that lie within your boxes as we go forward into the new year. The greeters will pass the baskets for those who choose to make contributions while Suzanne plays. You can use the link on the screen, which leads you to our donation page on our website, and whichever way you choose, I know you will honor this month of generosity.
Right, congregation, you get to be a part of the choir today. I'm going to teach you your part. You're going to repeat after me while the baskets are going around. There is always a light. There is always a light. If we are ready to be it, if we are ready to be it, there is always a light. There is always a light. If we are ready to feel it, if we are ready to feel it, I'm going to put those together so we can get the timing. Sounds like this. There is always a light. If we are ready to be it, there is always a light. If we are ready to be it, and me, there is always a light. If we are ready to feel it, there is always a light. If we are ready to feel it, to be the light, to feel the light, to raise our hearts in the dark of night, to be the light, to feel the light, to raise our hearts in the dark of night, to climb that hill, together we will. To climb that hill, together we will. Let's try the whole thing. There is always a light. If we are ready to be it, there is always a light. If we are ready to feel it, to be the light, to feel the light, to raise our hearts in the dark of night, to climb that hill, together we will. Let's do it one more time. There is always a light. If we are ready to be it, there is always a light. If we are ready to feel it, to be the light, to feel the light, to raise our hearts in the dark of night, to climb that hill, together we will. Great, the choir's going to sing some other parts and some harmonies along with you in just a moment. You can come.
As you have given and received here, given and received warmth and community, given and received generosity, we thank you for these gifts, which together with us all will build the common good.
There is always a light. If we are ready to be it, there is always a light. If we are ready to feel
I thank you, powers of the directions, for being here with us today, for energizing our circle and creating a sacred space within it. I thank you, powers of the masculine, powers of the feminine, powers of the non-binary, for being here with us today and bringing all spirits of all kinds here to this space. And now I ask for the candle to be extinguished. And I invite you to sing with our choir as it's put out. Yeah. The chant?
It's you, Peter.
No,
Bless us all, Peter.
there was a chant. The circle?
Oh, we're there. All right, well, let's get up again. If anyone in the second row wants to come into the first row, make a bigger circle. We get the slide, please. The circle is open, but unbroken. May the love of the goddess go ever in our hearts. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again. The circle is open, but unbroken. May the love of the goddess go ever in our hearts. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again. The circle is open, but unbroken. May the love of the goddess go ever in our hearts. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again.
Today I will leave you with this Yule blessing from Stephanie Laird. May you find peace in the promise of the solstice night, that each day forward be blessed with more light, that the cycle of nature, unbroken and true, brings faith to your soul and well-being to you. Rejoice in the darkness, in the silence find rest, and may the days that follow be abundantly blessed. Our service is ended. Go into the light with love.